How's it going? Dave here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to play this really awesome sounding chromatic chord progression, and then I'm going to show you the theory behind it as well. So let's take a listen. Alright, so that's a really pretty sounding chord progression. As you may have seen, each root note of each chord was descending by a semitone each time. So lots of chromatic notes there. Let me show you how it was done. So we're playing in the key of E for this chord progression, and we're starting on the low E string at the 12th fret, which funny enough is E, and we're descending until we get to the open E string. So let's talk about the diatonic chords in the key of E that we're using before talking about all the fancy chromatic chords that we started using. First of all, E major 7, that's chord 1. Then we're descending, so chord 7, which is D sharp half diminished, or D sharp minor 7 flat 5. Then we're moving to chord 6, which is C sharp minor 7. Then we're moving to chord 5, which would be B7, but I'm playing B minor 7 here. I think it sounds really nice to use a minor chord as chord 5. Then I add a ninth at the 9th fret of the high E string to turn it into a B minor 9. Then I'm moving to chord number 4, which is A major 7. Then chord 3, which is G sharp minor 7. Then to chord number 2, which is F sharp minor 7. And then I've finished on an E major add 9 chord. I think add 9 chords are really awesome to finish on. So those are our 7 diatonic chords. Now let's talk about the non-diatonic, the chromatic chords that we added into the chord progression. So what I was using here to play these chromatic chords was tritone substitutions. Now tritone substitutions are a really great tool to use as parting chords in your chord progressions. I'd probably be taking up too much of your time today in this one video if I was to explain all the intricacies of tritone substitutions, but if you want to learn about them, there's a video where I go in depth on tritone substitutions and explain what they are. But simply put, what we're doing is we're playing a dominant chord, so a chord with a major 3rd and a flat 7th, 1 fret higher than whatever the next chord is. We've got the E major 7, we've got the D sharp half diminished chord. Now, the next chord in the chord progression was C sharp minor 7 that I said, all right? But there's the gap here, D, that we haven't played yet. So we've got to add a dominant chord with a root note of D. So you could choose a dominant 7, dominant 9, dominant 11, dominant 13, or you could use altered chords as well. But I decided that what sounded best in this situation was a D13. And that leads us nicely into the C sharp minor 7. So all together, D13 there, C sharp minor 7. Then the next chord in our chord progression diatonically would be the B minor 7. So between C sharp and B is C. So we can play a tritone substitution at C. And for this one, I played a C7 sharp 5, which is an altered chord. So we're playing a dominant 7 and then we're altering the 5th by raising it. Okay, and that leads us very nicely into the B minor 7. Okay, when I added that 9th on, I was thinking about the melody that could go on top of this chord progression. And I figured that 7th fret there would be the next logical note to go to. Between B and A is B flat or A sharp, and I played an A sharp, dominant 7, flat 9, flat 13 chord, which has that note on top. So we're playing this altered chord here between B and A. So it sounds really, really nice. That A sharp 7, flat 9, flat 13 really adds a really nice tension to the progression. Okay, so the next chord, of course, is G sharp minor 7. And the one after that in the key would be F sharp minor 7. So in between those two chords is G. And I decided a G13 would be the best sound in between those two chords. Okay, added a ninth onto the F sharp minor 7, just because I thought it sounded cool. And then between F sharp and E, I played just the standard F7. There we go, and that leads us very nicely into our E major add 9. So there you have it. I used every single note in the chromatic scale as a root note of a chord in this chord progression because of tritone substitutions. So as I said, I've done a video on tritone substitutions that you should definitely check out so you can understand why they work. It's a good idea to understand why they work so you can use them in other situations and improve your songwriting abilities. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you click like, let me know what you thought in the comments, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure you check out that tritone substitution video, and if you already know what tritone substitutions are, check out this video, and I'll see you there.